Hi, my name is Passion False, and I did my research proposal project on affordable housing access and homelessness in Georgia. I have a big passion for the homeless population. I work with the homeless population every day. That's what I do for a living. Um, so I understand the housing gap that we have here, even in my city and also in Georgia in general. So in Georgia, there are more than 12 to 10,000 to 12,000 families that are homeless and individual people. The cause of these problems are low income, income shortage. It can be displacement of elderly on fixed income, children having to switch schools in between semesters. There are several things that the Georgia Assembly between 2021 to 2025, they passed the House bill that was meant for landlords to give tenants a little more time, which was a written notice of a tenant's rights. So it was anti-intoleration, so they cannot intolerate on the tenants. They are filing Chapter 44 to Chapter 7. The states increased the affordable housing tax credit, so they hope that that will supplement some of those housing shortage that we have here in the state of Georgia as we speak. Um, However, the issues follows that they are not sure whether these laws affect or have yet worsened. Well, I'm here to tell you that um, we need better laws. We need more laws that really gets into the problem of why people become homeless, because no one wants to become homeless. It's a situation where you can have a home one day and the next you no longer have a home, and that could be related to income, loss of job, loss of short in your wages of your hours at work, um, coming from a two-parent household to a one-parent household can affect those barriers as well. And those are some of the problems that we're facing. The cost of living is extremely high here in Georgia. And with that being said, with the cost of living so high and no one is really getting the income that they need to sustain to be able to live, is causing a big friction in housing security as well. So those are the problems that I wanted to touch base on. The research gap that we have, the research gap, most existing research examines eviction, affordable housing, and homelessness. That is a mistake. These outcomes are connected. Unfortunately, the existing research examines eviction, affordable housing, and homelessness separately. That is a mistake. These outcomes are connected. Furthermore, the existing literature relies heavily on court data. The research gap. Most existing research examines eviction, affordable housing, and homelessness separately. That is a mistake. These outcomes are connected, and they are connected. Most of the Furthermore, the research relies heavily on court documents and court data. We never almost never hear from tenants themselves, landlords who change their behaviors in response of the new laws. So the tenants, I have seen people, just let things go. They tend not to fight back, or, because they feel like they can't fight or they have no push way to fight. So mostly tenants just let things slide. and the landlord's behavior can change when the laws get involved. My research filled these three specific gaps. First, it examines the three outcomes together. Secondly, it adds the voices of the individuals. Thirdly, it uses my research questions. My study asked 5 questions. 1. Did the eviction filing rate significantly decrease after Georgia housing reforms? 2. Did homelessness decrease, stay flat, or increase? 3. Did affordable housing increase for low-income households at below the percentage area or medium income? 4. How did tenants, landlords, and legal aid providers prevent the effectiveness of these changes? Fifth, what unintended consequences emerge after the adoption? Theoretically framework, conflict theory. I based this research on conflict theory based on Collins 2020. Conflict theories holds that the housing system is inflated by power strategies of the limited resources. Landlords want to make profit and avoid risk. Tenants want security and stability. Passing the state theoretical framework, conflict theory. I based my research on conflict theory based on Collins. In 2020, conflict theories holds that the landlord system are influenced by power strategies of the limit resources. Landlords want to make profit and avoid risk. Tenants want security and stability. Passing to the state to prevent tenants to put in power in another hand. However, this is the main point of the conflict theory. Landlords will change. They can do this by screening more security deposit or even pull out of the rental market altogether. This theory is prevented of so-called policies adoption. This theory is the predictive of the so-called policy adaptation paradox. That is the law that are meant to assist tenants that they can create new obstacles without any intent. The model of my study is to test this hypothesis. Based on conflict theory and existing literature, I propose 4 hypotheses. Hypothesis 1, eviction filing rates will show a significantly decrease after legislators implement. Hypothesis 2, homelessness will show no significant decrease or slight increase in the short term due to landlords' behavior, like screening and higher rents. Hypothesis 3, affordable housing will increase, but the benefit will be on the with the middle income households at 50 to 60% of AMI, not exactly low income households at 30% or below. Hypothesis 4, quantitative data will reveal an experience. Tenants will report higher housing security and rent. Landlords will report higher financial risk and operational risk. So it will affect and be still a conflict because the tenant is not getting what their needs to be met, and the landlords is not getting their needs to be met because it's nowhere in the middle. Methodology overview. My design is a concurrent mixed message quasi experience design. This is evaluation research as Rubin and Babin 2017 define it. I compare 24 months of data and 12 months prior to the legislative changes and 12 months later. The three metropolises areas that I'm gathering data on includes Atlanta, Augusta, Savannah, and Georgia. The three sites reflects variable housing market condition, tenants and evictions, and tenants homelessness. In the qualitative aspects, the units of analysis is the monthly administrative records. I have fully population data, not a sample. It consists of all eviction filings, all points in time, homelessness counts, all certified affordable housing units in the three metro area. Population data, get rid of samples areas. In the qualitative part, I am selecting 45 participants using population samples. 15 participants in each metro policy area will cover the tenants that have received eviction filings, tenants in affordable housing waitlists, legal aid attorneys practicing the housing laws, and landlords with 10 or fewer units of rental properties. Participants must meet the following eligibility criteria: 18 years of age, a resident or worker in the chosen population area, must be English. I accept English requirements. Measurements and instruments. I will take you through my measurements. Dependent variables. First, eviction filing rates. The number of eviction complaints per 100 renters household per month. Second, homeless rates in the ratio of shelters and unsheltered to 10,000 population. Third, production of affordable housing by area, media income level, newly certified unit, independent variable, legislative implementation, a biennial variable that indicated the pre and post policy period per variance. I adjust the unemployment rates, rental vacancy rates, medium retail prices, and population growth. In the case of my compensated instrument, I came up with 3 instruments. To begin with, a semi-structured interview guide comprising of 15 opening-ended questions in 4 domains. Second, the tenant protection knowledge scale, 5 true, false questions on legal knowledge. Third, behavior adaptation inventory, 8 yes or no questions to the